Alrighty, perfect. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here today. Sorry about last week. My hand is healing quite nicely. It's all taped up for yoga, but I got the stitches out today and we're doing great. So thank you. Sorry about last week. I got in a war with an avocado and I did not win, but it worked out really well and it's healing well. So I'm excited to get back on my mat with you. And yeah, so we're going to start seated in a comfy seat. If you want blocks or straps or blankets with you, that's great, but you won't necessarily need them for any of the poses, just for some modifications if you'd like. And we'll begin with some deep breathing. It's up to you where you'd like to place your hands for your breath today. Thank you. But I'm going to put one on my belly and one on my heart. And we're going to take 5 rounds of deep breath at our own pace. And if you've got your hands somewhere on your chest and belly, I want you to feel your top half fill first, and then all the way down to the bottom of the belly, and then exhale completely. So you'll take 5 rounds at your own pace, deep inhales and exhales. I'll cue the first couple if you'd like to follow me. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 3 more at your own slow speed. And then keeping your eyes closed, we're going to do a short facial massage to just relax and release any tightness. I removed my glasses for this because otherwise I accidentally knocked them off. But you'll take your pointer fingers and put temples. I rest my thumbs like right underneath my jaw just as a stabilizer. So it looks like I'm like thinking really hard. And then I roll my pointer fingers forwards about 5 times. Focusing on feeling in the temples and allowing that calmness to radiate through the face and seep into the mind. And then do 5 circles backwards when you're ready. Allow them to trail down the jawline to the chin and crawl back up, and you're going to go all the way up over the brow bone and down the nose and catch under the eyes and come back to the temples. And just take a few more circles here as you picture yourself surrounded by a healing light, whatever color that is for you, whatever scent, temperature, and feeling. I'm going to cue 3 rounds of breath, and you're going to breathe in clean, healing air and exhale whatever no longer serves you. Ready? Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Last release. Bringing your glasses back onto your face. We'll stretch out the neck a little bit. I figured we would do some deep relaxing at the beginning. Web the fingers together, place it behind the head. Dip your chin to your chest, opening the back of the neck. One, because by the end of class, I'm much sweatier. And two, because I was not calm starting class. So you all got to calm down with me. Next, inhale, look up. Exhale, use the left hand to pull the head gently over to the left side, opening up the side of the neck. My parents are coming to visit, and I'm very excited. And they're bringing my puppies. They're staying with us for a week, and I cannot wait to see the puppies. And so I had about as much energy as a puppy when we started. And then back through center and tilt the head over to the right. And back up. We're going to work our way through the stiffness that we collect from sitting. So we've done some attention to the temples and the brows. We'll focus on the mind for the whole of the class. And we made our way through the neck. We're going to work on the shoulders now. Bring your arms out to goddess arms, or out to this cactus, also is the word for it. Inhale together. Exhale, bring them all the way back, like you're trying to get your elbows to touch. They're not going to because of shoulder blades, but that's the general motion. Let's do 4 more. And then clasp your hands behind you, pull the shoulders down, open the chest, look up. And take a couple of deep breaths here, noticing the constriction of the throat. And now if you take a deep exhale like this, it's a little bit more of a noise, kind of like the Ujjayi breath. And then arms all the way up. Grab your right wrist with the left hand, arc up and over. And then trying to maintain that stretch in the right arm, that pulling up, over, and down. Place the left hand on the mat. And I allow my left elbow to bend as I extend through the side body. So it's a similar movement to extended side angle. You can even open the chest a little bit to start for a twist. But you're pulling your arm and side body out and down while you rotate forwards. It's a pretty deep, intense upper body stretch. And then we come back up and we'll catch our left wrist with our right hand. And allow that right hand down to the ground, left arm extends over. And then coming back up, we'll take eagle arms for a moment. So you bring your arms out to goddess, and you're gonna cross your right elbow over your left elbow, and then intertwine the hands. So you're trying to touch hands like you're clapping with a twist. So come close to the camera so you can see. Don't mind me while I crawl. You got your right elbow over your left, and then my hands are trying to touch. And lift those elbows up to shoulder level. Take a gaze towards the thumbs. Option here to take some arches. I like this back stretch. You inhale, lift up, arc back. Exhale, bring the elbows into the belly button. Let's do 2 more this side. Coming back up through your neutral spine, releasing the arms out to a T. Bring them back behind you for a little counter stretch. And then we'll bring the left elbow on top of the right. Try and touch your hands together. Lift the elbows up to the shoulder level. Look up to the thumbs. And then you can extend back and crunch in. There is also like ab eagle crunches where you lay on your back and you do that. They're interesting. One more time. And then back up to neutral spine, arms out to a T and stretching back behind you. We'll take a few twists now. Two options for how you twist today. You can either twist with your legs crisscrossed or with one leg out. So we're gonna cross the right ankle over the left knee first. If you'd like, the left leg can be out straight. This will give you a little bit more of a back of the thigh stretch. Or you can cross or fold the left leg in, which will give you a little bit more of a top and side of the thigh stretch. Whichever one you'd like. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist over to the right so that your left elbow catches over the right knee. And you're looking back behind you. Whenever I do twists, I think of owls and how they can rotate their heads all the way around. I think that's so cool. We cannot. I can't. Maybe you can. If you can, you should apply to join the circus. I'm sure they would be excited about that. And back through center. Take a little baby counter twist over to the left. Sometimes my back cracks there. And then we'll switch the setup. So you're crossing your left ankle over the right knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to twist. Remember that our inhales, we grow our spine taller. Exhales, we twist a little further. Or take that twisting motion deeper, even if the body doesn't rotate further. And rolling back through center into a baby counter stretch. Making your way to table. Now you can put a folded up mat or a folded blanket under your knees if that would better support you there. We'll take 5 rounds of cat-cow to start off. Inhales, lower the belly, look up. Exhales, arc the back, look towards the belly button. If you'd like, you can sway from side to side as you do this, making it more of a circular motion. This adds in some side body stretches as well. Whatever feels good in your body today. And then settling back, you're actually going to step the right foot back this time, and then you're going to allow yourself to release backwards. So you're coming forward so your shoulders are over the wrists, and then you're stretching through that right leg. So you're looking to find a nice stretch in the right calf. One version of a runner's stretch, and you're using the pressing of the foot into the floor to stretch it out. And just pulse a few times. And then tuck that right knee back under, step the left foot back. Same thing on the left side. Oops, stepping on my phone charger. Coming back to your table, inhale, right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, coming to rest on that right shoulder. Left hand can be out in front of you or reaching around for the right thigh. 2 more breaths. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, come back to table. Inhale, left arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread underneath the right arm. Keep breathing. One thing we haven't talked about in Thread the Needle is the hips. How low your hips go is up to you. Some people keep their hips pretty high up. Others are aiming to sit down on their heels. I tend to be somewhere halfway in between. It's just more comfortable for my body to be up a little bit, but not totally over. Inhale to unwind. Exhale, come to table, sit back on the heels. When you sit back on the heels with the tops of the feet, it gives a gentle stretch on the top of the foot. Alternatively, you can tuck the toes and sit back if you'd like to stretch out your arches. Wherever you're at, we're gonna take a couple of wrist stretches. So there's 2 stretches, but you can always stick with just the 1 wrist circle if that feels best for you. So you're gonna do 5 wrist circles in each direction, or just a couple in each direction, and then hold your fingers, pull them down like you're trying to pull them back towards the wrist, but you're not actually bending the fingers back. You're just pulling the fingers down towards the floor to help the wrist. I'm actually not going to do it on this hand because it's still here. But some wrist circles before we flow. My mom has rheumatoid arthritis, and she's always reminding me to take good care of my wrists, and she's totally right. Okay, coming back to your table, giving your hips a little sway from side to side. We'll come into our gate. This will be on the one knee, but you can always take it up to standing. So you step your right foot out, it's in line with the hip, and your left knee is under your left hip. If you'd prefer, you can just come into a standing squat. So bringing the left hand down by the left knee, arc that right arm overhead, back into that side angle stretch. And we'll keep our momentum going as we sway over to the toes, and then back to the side body. Just allow yourself to sway back and forth a few times. You can either continue stretching, or if you'd like, lift that right foot off the floor, bend it in towards your bottom, and pull the heel towards the butt cheek to get a nice thigh stretch. It's like bound half moon, but we're doing it from gate. And gently release that right leg back towards the floor. We're gonna turn around so that our left leg is back behind us, and we're facing over our right leg. Inhale up tall, exhale, fold forward. I like to keep my toes pointed in this stretch because it helps open up the top of my foot, which is just a place that I don't stretch very often. And then I pay for it when I run. Hold here for 2 more breaths. Inhale, come up. Exhale, slowly make your way back to a kneeling position. We're gonna switch knees now. So you'll step your left foot out this time. I like to keep the middle of my foot in line with my hip. You can also keep your heel in line if that feels better to have it a little bit more forward, or your toe. It's whatever feels best, giving your own personal hip alignment. Place your right hand on the floor, left arm hugging the left ear, stretch it out, and then begin to sweep. Continuing to stretch, or if you'd like, taking that bind, that thigh stretch, grasping the left foot behind the left hip, pulling it in, holding for just a few breaths. And ever so gently releasing, tilting up and rolling over so that you can fold down over that left leg. You know your legs are too far apart when you're starting to like squish your mat in towards you. And breathe here. Tucking that left foot back to right when you're ready. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Making sure you're extending through those shoulders. We were talking earlier about how jealous we are of our dog's ability to downward dog. Our one dog, Penny, is particularly perfect at it, and it makes me a little jealous. Pedaling the feet out. Perhaps lifting the legs and opening the hips. Let's do 3 more rounds of breath here. And then lowering the knees to the floor underneath the hips. We're gonna come into puppy because we've been talking about puppies, so now we have to do puppy pose. So walking the hands out in front of you, lowering the forearms and the chest to the floor, allowing the chin to rest there. My hips normally come forward a little too far. You're trying to stick your hips over your knees. I need to start wearing different colored leggings. Someone remind me. My hips tend to come forward a little bit, so I always have to double check myself. And if you'd like, you can come up onto finger-tented fingertips. That was redundant. And place your forehead on the floor. Speaking is hard sometimes. Remembering that this is a yin yoga pose and can cause you to feel somewhere on the 5 to 6 level of discomfort, but you're never looking for pain, just that sensation of deep release. 2 more breaths. Slowly lift the head, walk the arms in, sit hips back to heels, give yourself a hug. 1, because you're awesome, and 2, because it's good for your arms. You know, self-love, and also stretch, which is also self-love. Arms out to a T, place the opposite arm on top, hug yourself again. And release. We're coming down to cobra now, so laying on the belly. The tops of the feet are about as wide as the mat. Hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck those elbows into the rib cage. Look down. Inhale, begin to peel up off the mat. Exhale, lower yourself back down. Let's do 2 more with movement. Only stretching to the point where you feel a nice stretch throughout the spine, but not a crunching in the lower back. We don't like to crunch. Well, sometimes I feel like pushing myself that far, but you shouldn't. It's not good. We don't want to hurt our backs. And then you can either keep stretching a few times or come to where your body feels that stretch. For me, it's about here today. And just allow yourself to hold. Taking a slight gaze out and down. Noticing how this pose is actually a lot more engaged. Feeling the tops of the thighs, the engagement in the mula bandha and the core. the arm muscles, shoulders, the hands, whole body. Engage the whole body. Down. And then bring your arms out wide, come up on your fingertips. Inhale for a wide cobra. Exhale down. 2 more. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Lift through table and come and sit back to child's pose. Big toes touch, hips back to heels. We'll take a floor flow, which is just going to involve child's cobra, cats, and cows. We'll do it a few times through, but it will be 1 movement per breath. So peel yourself back up into your table. Take an inhale, lower the belly, look up. Exhale, arc the back. Inhale, lower. Exhale, sit back to child's. Inhale, unwind the feet as you pull yourself through cobra. Exhale, through to table. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, table. Bringing those hands back underneath the shoulders. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, table. Bringing hands back underneath shoulders. Last time. Inhale, lower belly. Exhale, arc the back. Inhale, lower. Exhale, child's. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog, pedal it out. 5 breaths here. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step right foot to right thumb. Option to keep the knee up or lower it down and flip onto the top of the foot. Place the right hand on the floor, or if you're up tall, you can place it up on a block for better support. Sorry, left hand on the floor. And then open the right arm to the sky for the twist. You can even bring your hand behind your right ear and allow yourself to twist open deeper. And back up towards the sky. Bring that right hand back down. Pull yourself back, stretch over the right foot. Next, inhale, come forward, bending knee over ankle, arms up to the sky. Keep breathing as you inhale up tall, exhale, arc. So it's this growth of an arc, not a crunch in the lower back. Allowing yourself to hold in the crescent. Noticing any feelings in the pelvis of tightness or openness, and in the shoulders and the neck. And bring your hands back down to the ground. Tuck the left toes, step right foot back to left. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, left foot to the sky. Exhale, left foot to left thumb, coming into the lunge that best suits you. Opening up the left arm and twisting back. Back up to the sky, lower that hand down, sit back over the hips, stretch forward. And then crawling yourself forward back into that lunge, inhaling up, exhale, arc for the crescent. Lowering the hands, tucking the back toes, and stepping back to downward dog. Inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, step, hop, or float your way to the front of the mat. And allow yourself to hang in ragdoll. So you've got a slight bend in the hips, hands on opposite elbows, head drooping down. Allowing the weight of the upper body to pull you towards your mat and open the backs of the legs. Inhale, arms up tall. Exhale, Tadasana. We're gonna take 3 rounds of flow here. Your option to take Chaturanga to up dog or knees, chest, chin to cobra. I'll be doing knees, chest, chin to cobra. So whatever feels good for you, we're gonna do 3 rapid rounds. So you're welcome to pause if you would like, and you can always take child or hold down dog for longer, but we're gonna see if we can build up a little extra sweat today. Feet underneath the hips. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Deep inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog, 3 rounds of breath. Always feeling free to open the hips or bend alternate knees. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Deep inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to downward dog, 3 breaths. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, last time, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Deep inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, lower down to your knees. We'll take dolphin, coming onto the forearms, placing the palms down. So I'd like you to lift your hands up first, and then intentionally place down the wrists, the palms, the thumbs, pointers, middle, ring, and pinky. I want each and every one of those fingertips gripping the mat like a little gecko while your forearms are down. Sorry, I know I lifted mine up. For dolphin, you'll tuck your toes, Lift your hips up to the sky, extending the heels downward. So it's that same stretch as downward dog, but down on the forearms. And if you'd like to play with balance a little bit, you come up onto your toes and start to walk your hips towards the shoulders, and then walk back. The hips over the shoulders is what helps in forearm and handstands. You can also hold for a really beautiful strengthening stretch. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, lower the knees. Sit hips back to heels. Grasp the hands behind you. Open up that chest. Release, give yourself a hug. Arms out to a T, and then hug the other side. Coming back to your table, stepping your right foot to your right pinky, coming into lizard. We're gonna hold here for 7 breaths. If that's comfy, come out whenever you need to. So my toes are matching up right with my pinky finger. I'm extending through the hips. I'm up on my arms, but you can be up on a block or come down to your forearms. Alternatively, your left hand can be on the floor, right hand on the knee. Come onto the pinky edge of the right foot, open up. Just making sure you're stabilizing in that left hand. Wherever you're at, we've got about 5 breaths left to go. To come out, come back up onto the hands, shift the hips backwards, and tuck that right knee back to the left. Taking the other side, maybe for swaying hips side to side a little bit, giving them a little shake. And then bring left foot to left pinky, and lowering into whatever variation feels good for you. 7 breaths. Coming back up onto the hands, shift the hips back, tuck that leg back, tuck the toes, and walk the feet to the hands for a forward fold. If you'd like, you can tuck your hands underneath your toes, perhaps bending the knees a little bit to also stretch out the wrists and the hands, letting the head droop down towards the mat. Inhale up towards the sky. Exhale, widen the legs, forward fold again. Feet turned out 45 degrees. Sway the hips from side to side, accessing each of the hip flexors. And then walk the hands forward for a wide-legged downward dog, allowing the chest to come forward at first, like you're going into a plank, and then purposefully driving the hips back. The toes can come to face forwards. Whenever I pull myself forwards first and then drive myself back, I feel a little bit of a deeper opening than when I just allow myself to shift and shimmy back. 2 more breaths. Walk those hands back underneath the shoulders, and then turn fingertips towards toes. Walk yourself backward for a moment. Hold for a couple breaths. And then back underneath the shoulders. Take a bend in the right knee as allow yourself to take a side bend, only coming down as far as is comfortable for you. If you're feeling like you can come down close to the ground, you can flip the toes up off the floor and bring the hips down. You can also just take the toes up off the floor no matter what. Sometimes that feels better for the knee. And then we'll crawl our way over to the other side, placing those right toes back down, lifting the left toes up and bending into the right leg. The side bend is a beautiful stretch no matter where you're at. I like to be really down close to the floor because my goal in life is to be Spider Woman. But it's also okay to be up here and stretching down. That still accesses the leg in the same way. And then allow yourself to shift through from side to side a couple times. We're prepping the hip flexors for pigeon. Finding your static folds. And then walking the feet back underneath the hips. Option to take a flow to come into pigeon or meet me in downward dog. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Deep inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the right foot towards the sky. Exhale, right foot to right thumb. So pigeon is the one, again, that's what we're going for now. You're gonna shimmy your right foot over to your left hand and allow the right knee to come down. My heel comes in pretty close to my hip. So if you see my setup, my right heel is pretty close to my left hip, but my right knee is in line with my right hip. So I've got a straight line here, and then a really sharp diagonal. And then I crawl myself down, folding over that bent leg. If your hip is off the ground, you can always tuck a blanket. Sometimes I do that anyways, allow my hip to sink into a blanket just for a little bit of extra support on some days. You just kind of wedge it up under there. And if being on the ground does not feel good, you can bring the right ankle over the left knee and walk the left foot in towards the left butt cheek. That'll give you the same stretch. Alternatively, you can take reclining pigeon where you pull the right thigh towards you, or the left thigh towards you, sorry, as the right leg is crossed over top. Wherever you're at, let's see if we've got 5 more breaths. Carefully crawling out and taking child's whenever you need it. Child's is a beautiful release in and of itself. To come out, you come back onto the hands, and then I place my weight into my hands and tuck my back toes. That way I can lift my leg up and step back. I like to pedal out for a few moments before stepping my left foot to my left thumb and shimmying it over to my right hand. So you'll see here's my right hip, and here's my left foot. They're like mere inches away from one another. I bend it in pretty far. And we'll take 5 or 6 rounds of breath here. I talked a lot on the other side. When you're ready, coming back up onto the hands and shifting back to downward dog. Pedaling it out. You can take another flow here or make your way to a comfortable seat. We'll all meet there in just a moment. We'll come to our butterfly. So bringing the soles of the feet to touch. If you have a strap, you may want it for some of these stretches just to deepen it in a different way, but it's by no means necessary. We'll start by grabbing the ankles. Inhale up tall, exhale, roll the shoulders back while holding onto those ankles, creating this taut line of the spine and the arms. Inhale one more time, sit up tall again. Exhale, fold yourself over the legs. Remembering that the further you bring your feet away from the hips, the easier it'll be to come down towards the floor. The closer you bring them in, the harder it's going to be to get down this far. 2 more breaths. And then inhale up. Exhale, bring your hands underneath the ankles this time. Inhale, sit up tall, create those taut lines again. Exhale, pull yourself down, noticing that this time your elbows also create some traction on the thighs. 3 breaths here. Inhale up tall. Exhale, send those legs straight out in front of you. Continuing to breathe as you find a moment to ground into your sit bones, pulling the fleshy part of your bum out from underneath you. I'm going to use a strap for this. You can also just reach with your hands. I just like a strap for the way that it helps accentuate my forward and down and doesn't allow me to curve as much, I find. So I'm wrapping it around the soles of my feet. Inhale up tall. Exhale, pull chest towards thighs. 4 more breaths here. Inhale up tall. Exhale, fold the right foot in or back. So it either comes in towards the left thigh or tucks the heel behind the hip for half hero. Next inhale, grow tall again. Exhale, fold down. Inhale up. Exhale, switch your setup so you've got your right leg out in front of you, or whichever leg you just didn't do. And then fold forward when you're ready. Inhale, back up. We'll take both legs out in front one more time, kind of like repeating a circle. Both legs, one, and then both. Inhale up. Exhale, pull into the stretch. Maybe pointing and flexing the toes. Then sitting up tall, we'll come onto our backs. We're just gonna do some ankle rolls. My sprinting coach, when I was in middle school, used to tell us, anytime you were injured, the important thing to do was take it easy today, ice it when you get home, and write your ABCs with your toes. I think he was just worried that we were all gonna like roll our ankles at any given point. So you don't have to write your ABCs, but we are gonna roll our ankles. So I take a couple moments, I like to hold my thighs while I do it, but point and flex. And then just make some circles, making sure to go in both directions. And then you can hug the knees in. Bring the arms out to a T and release them towards the right, looking out over the left. Two more breaths here. Slowing down. Coming through center and then releasing over to the left. One of these days I'll teach a whole class without running into a piece of furniture. And then bring those knees back in towards center. Pull the knees down towards the armpits, grab the pinky side edges of the feet, and rock yourself side to side in happy baby. Allowing yourself to come into your Shavasana pose whenever you're ready. We'll take a moment to repeat part of our breathing exercise from the beginning of practice. I'm going to place one hand over my heart, one over the belly. I'd like you to allow your eyes to close if that's comfortable, and surround yourself with a healing light, whatever color that is for you. Smell, location, your happy place. And for these breaths, your inhales are pulling new energy. Your exhales, releasing that which does not serve you. Or noticing places that could use a little extra love and nourishment. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale with a deep sigh. Allow the hands to come to the floor. And each part of your body melts into your mat and the air around you as you breathe. Held in this space, your space. Bringing the attention back to the breath. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes. Rolling yourself over onto the side and pressing up into a seat whenever you're ready. Eyes closed or softly gazing at the floor in front of you. You can hold your hands over your heart, on your lap, or press them together at heart center, whatever feels good. And take a moment to honor yourself for coming to your practice today, for whatever components of life you are working on in this moment. Thank you for allowing me to share this space with you. By the mercy of my teachers, thank you all so much for such a beautiful, beautiful practice. It's always a pleasure to have you all here, and I can't wait to see you next week.